Hello everyone. Today you're going to be getting a long overdue update on my pomegranate that I planted from seed quite a few years ago. I'll look back at my records to see how far back I did plant it. I think it was over 5 years ago or maybe around that. But anyway, this is how it's looking now. It's inside, as you can see. It was outside until I believe the second week of November, and I was gonna do a video just before I brought it in, but it looked terrible. Most of the leaves had, well, almost all the leaves had fallen off. There were no green leaves left, and I thought, oh wow, this thing is gonna take a while to come back. I wasn't worried about it dying, but I was surprised that just after a few weeks indoors, all these leaves just came out of nowhere, and we got new growth. See, this is only from like 2 weeks, so it's a pretty crazy plant in that respect. But as you also might notice, is I have lots of flowers. So the big change between, I guess, the previous year and this year, last year I did get a couple flowers, but that was it. And now it's like a common occurrence. I'm getting flowers all over. Right now I have, I don't know, probably about 10 different flowers coming out. So it does fruit now. I don't get ones that go to maturity. It seems to drop the fruit. I'm not too worried about that. I think it just wasn't mature enough, and I think by the time it's back outside again in April, it'll probably start fruiting in the summer, and those fruit should hold for the summer until they mature. So I think I'm just at that point now. I just had to be patient and wait and let everything mature. It's got a big root system. I have it in this pretty huge pot. I don't know what that is. I think they call it like a 5-gallon pot, or it's pretty close anyway. I've had to prune this thing a million times, but that doesn't bother me. And I don't really fertilize it. I just use compost, and I have some mulch on it, and it just decomposes. It feeds off that. I don't really know if this is really what they'd call a heavy feeder, but it seems to be doing okay. One thing I do notice is when it gets stressed, it does put out fruit, like a lot of things do. So I think I could almost induce it to fruit at this point, just by cutting back the water, which I did. Before I brought it in for the winter, I wanted it to go a little bit, slow down, go a little more dormant. So I did cut back the water. I didn't really water it other than a little bit of rain it got. And yeah, that's what it looks like now. I'm definitely going to give it a haircut. This is a very bushy type. I've seen other people that they planted theirs from seed from the Palm Wonderful, the same type that I planted. And in their videos, theirs is more like a tree. So I think it's just whatever characteristic your pomegranate decides to take. I am going to try and trim it back to be a little more like a tree. But I don't mind it like this. I get lots of little flowers and fruit on it, so I think it's not a bad shape. It just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And while I'm here, to this dwarf pomegranate, I didn't grow this one from seed. I bought the plant, but you can just look, it's just full of flowers. Looks really nice. And it does grow wild too, like the other one. It just starts growing crazy once I brought it inside. This one I'll get fruit off of it, but they'll be kind of small. It's like a dwarf pomegranate. It's more for growing for fun than anything. You're not actually trying to harvest fruit for food. And that's it. I'm going to trim this guy back a bit and see how it looks. Here you go, and there's the, I guess, after look after I trimmed it up. I think it actually looks pretty decent now. I was just trying to keep 3 or 4 main leaders, which I have here, and it'll give nice air throughout the center and more sunlight for all the leaves. This is what I ended up trimming back. It's quite a bit of leaves and young branches, but yeah, that could easily grow right back to what it was at within a matter of weeks or a month. It depends how this grows. I thought it would go a little bit more dormant, but it seems to have had a kind of a second wind. So we'll see in the coming year if it puts out fruit that matures and stays on the tree. Another look at some of the flower buds that are ready to open. Thanks for watching.